braking more can actually make you a faster driver. Sounds like a juxtaposition, right? Well, not quite. This is trail braking, and in this video I'm going to be telling you what trail braking is, when it should be used, and how you can learn, practice and utilise it in your own driving. So make sure you stay tuned until the very end if you want to become a faster driver. When we're first learning to drive in a performance manner, we're taught that we need to brake, turn and accelerate in 3 separate stages. This is intended to help newer drivers drive cleaner, smoother and to keep the car balanced through corners overall. But with this line of thinking, it's easy for newer drivers to see braking purely as a means of slowing a car down. However, the brakes actually have a few uses that advanced drivers use regularly. If you've watched any of my videos in my How to Toge series so far, you'll know that we can actually use the brakes to change the pitch of the car, or in other words, load the weight onto the front tyres. You notice how the car ducks down there. Basically, this alters the balance of grip from rear to front. There are 2 main effects that come of this. Firstly, the front tyres have way more grip than usual as they are compressed into the tarmac. This gives them greater turn-in potential. And secondly, the rears are lifted off the tarmac slightly, meaning they have less grip. This allows us to rotate the rear of the car much easier than usual. In a nutshell, trail braking allows us to use all of our grip to its maximum potential by shifting the weight around. When entering a corner, we don't need as much grip on the rear tyres than the fronts, simply because they are putting in less work. So loading up the fronts by trail braking allows us more grip to actually turn into the corner. One of my favourite corners that is always trail braked isn't actually on a Toge at all, it's actually here on Monza. It's turn 7 and it's practically a right angled corner with not a lot of runoff that leads directly onto a very long straight. Right, here it is coming up. On this corner, trail braking as well as aggressively attacking the curb is absolutely necessary, which we're going to do right here. There we go. Oh! Trail braking allows us to rotate the rear of the car around so we don't go off the track and keep up momentum for this long straight. Hopefully this paints a good picture on why trail braking is such a vital technique to be a fast driver. However, trail braking isn't as useful in the faster corners, such as the parabolica here, because we don't want to shift too much weight off the rear tyres because they're going to be the ones putting down the power. However, we can trail brake a little bit just to get the rear rotated like I did just there. Trail braking is the term used to describe the technique of blending both braking and turning at the same time. If we go back to the diagram from earlier, we can see how it modifies the 3 stages of cornering into just 2 stages. Trail braking enables a driver to brake slightly later, but more importantly, keep the weight of the car on the front axles, which aids corner entry. So now you know what trail braking is and when to use it, so all that remains is telling you how to learn, practice and utilise the trail braking technique in your own driving. But before that, let me take up to 10 seconds of this video to remind you to like the video, let me know what you think in the comments and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this one. Thank you. Trail braking is a tough technique to get down consistently. Firstly, it requires a good amount of seat time and experience, and secondly, you need to have good feel on the pedals to really react to what the car's doing. But once you do get it down, and you're able to get the most out of the tyres at the entry of a corner, it's an invaluable technique in your driver toolbox. I'm doing an absolutely terrible job of showcasing it here, but let's do a little gutter drop. Oh! So here's how to trail brake. When trail braking, we'll actually be able to brake a little later than usual, but we still need to ensure the majority of our deceleration is done in a straight line. Maximum braking can only occur in a straight line. As we approach the turn-in point, we need to begin easing off the brakes. It's important that you ease off the brakes as smoothly as possible. If you come off them too quick, you'll unbalance the car. Once you reach your turn-in point, start to turn your car towards the apex. This is the point in which trail braking starts, as you're trailing the brakes past the turning point. As you increase the steering angle, you'll need to continually release brake pressure. The more steering input used, the less braking force you'll be able to keep. It's at this point the car may over-rotate or oversteer. You'll need to be very delicate with the controls to avoid this. Just before you reach the apex of the corner, you should be completely off the brakes, as you'll need all the tyres' grip for turning and acceleration. So those were the basics of trail braking, but let's go over the steps again but simplified this time. Step 1. Brake in a straight line at maximum force. Step 2. Begin to ease off the brakes just before your turning point. Step 3. Turn into the corner. Step 4. As you increase steering angle, reduce brake pressure. Step 5. Release the brakes just before the apex. Step 7. Complete the corner as usual. Congratulations, you just trail braked. Trail braking is a technique that is pretty hard to master. Perfecting it takes a good amount of seat time, so don't blame yourself if you can't do it right away. However, once a driver has the pedal feel and experience to nail it, they'll be much faster overall. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to drop a like, let me know what you think in the comments and subscribe for more tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.